Hello everyone, welcome back to some Internet Spaceships. You join me as I come into Area 18 because it is the beginning of Invictus week. So there is some ship sales going on. It is RSI day. This means of course that the RSI gubbins, all their ships and all their toys are viewable, and this year the event is being held in Area 18, so we're making our way down. At least I will when I can find the spaceport. I'm going to presume it's over there. And down in the hangar, of course, is the Polaris. So I say hangar, the showroom floor is probably a better way of putting it. So yes, the showroom floor. The Polaris is down there for display. The spaceport's not over here. We're going to go and look at it. I didn't look at it on the PTU. I didn't go and witness any of the flybys or anything. So this will be my first time seeing it. I'm just looking forward to it, and I thought I may as well record it as a sort of reaction to what was going on. So you will join me as I go and tour around all the RSI stuff for the beginning of Invictus week. Once I find the spaceport, because I can never find it when all the new clouds in Area 18. You always get lost. It's actually been quite a while since I've been to Area 18. I think there's somebody down into one of their hangars. Looks like Pisces Rescue. Oh dear, it looks like someone is also exploiting the infinite money glitch that's been described. That's why there's all these C2s out here. It's a silly thing, but hey ho. Tidy. Right, we want to make our way to the Bevic Convention Centre. I believe that's what it's called. Yes, I'm glad I still remember the name because it has been a while. You see my character is in the only remaining set of Hurston security armour that I own with a P6. That's because I went hunting copions. The copion horns that I'd saved from my last video had disappeared. So with the clear out, like, you lose all your ammunition and you lose all your like food and drink that's in your inventory. It cleared out the copion horns I had collected, so I had to go and get some more. I took them back to the admin centre building in New Babbage, the one that's in the plaza, and again they are still on the terminal for 28k. It was like 27.8k, wasn't it, that you get for each horn, but you still can't sell them, so that's still bugged, unfortunately. So whilst again it may be a good money maker in the future if they aren't going to tweak the prices that much, you know, if they release an update that fixes it, but unfortunately we still can't sell them, so it's a bit annoying. We can interact with the wildlife and we can shoot it, but it has no purpose apart from the 5k mission that you get. I think there's one for like 14k as well for killing some more of them in caves and things, but it's still not worth it for that amount of money. We are. I haven't been here in a long time. The all too familiar join the Navy things, if I remember, or distinct in service, that's right. Have they got the big stone thing where it's like helping people up that you can go and pose in front of? There it is. There we go, someone's already stood on it. This thing. One Empire. And then someone's already called the lift. Ooh! Bugger. Oh, there we go. We'll go down with this very fine looking gentleman in his fire strike armour. There we go. So on the show floor today, Origin, Consolidated Outland, Argo and RSI. It's good to know. I didn't know the others, although saying that I did see the Origin stuff for sale on the website when I had a quick look, so I knew Origin was about somewhere. Holy crap, that's big, just seeing it in the front thing there. So like I said, I didn't come down to the show floors during the testing on the PTU. This is my first time seeing this thing, and that is large. especially with all the constellations next to it. Let's have a look at the map. RSI, Argo, Origin. Origin don't have. Oh, there's Origin. They're just hidden away in a corner. So they've got the 125, the 325. Of course, this isn't IAE. This is Invictus. So it's basically going to be combat ships for the most part. So even though we have the Connie Phoenix, which isn't really a combat ship, it's a luxury ship. But hey, it's RSI day. So okie dokie. That is massive. So we can't go in it. Obviously, this is just a shell. But that is big. It's, I want to say, if I remember right, I was looking at an image the other day, and it's as big as the 890 jump. So my 890 obviously is very familiar to me. It looks about the same length, if I'm honest. But yes, massive. These here are the size 10, if I remember, torpedo tubes. So basically that's the Polaris's party piece. It's a gigantic, not missile boat, it is a torpedo boat. So not a bomber, it's meant to be like a launch platform for these torpedoes to take down capital ships and things. Some man running around with his multi-tool out. God, it's big. And turrets underneath with large guns. I don't know what size they are, I want to say size 5s, I think. Maneuvering thrusters. We can't get on top to have a look, obviously. We can go and look at it if it does the flyby, which it may well do. Or if I can find some pictures of it, I'll post it. But it obviously has the hangar inside to allow ships to dock. And if I remember rightly, I saw a comment saying it will fit a Vanguard in there. So it's a big hangar. It's meant to take like 2 small ships, if I remember. But it can fit a Vanguard, allegedly. And people will throw whatever they can in there. This, to me, looks like a boarding ramp. Obviously, we can't get inside. It is just big. Big, big, big. Massive and very, very constellation-like engine clusters at the back, which I do like. I do like the RSI designs. The Connies need a bit of love again after so long. They could really do with their like gold standard update, given something like the Raven has just had one for the new Firebird. But yeah, the Connies are well overdue. But I do like the design cues that they've used in the Polaris. The comment, I believe, from Mr. Crew of CIG was that the Polaris is going to be released to the owners, to those who bought it at IAE, so November. So they have to wait until November to get their hands on their new big shiny. It is indeed a very big shiny. I'm looking forward to seeing it. That is just something else. Like radio antenna poking out the back. It reminds me of the like the ships from the Matrix, like the Nebuchadnezzar and the Hammer. I can't remember the names of the other ones, they're the only 2 ones I can remember. It's very like to those. They were hovercraft technically, weren't they? They were called hovercraft. It reminds me of those, just the design cues of it. I like it. Again, not my ship. I don't own one. I'm not a person who chases after all the military ships. But I do like the design. It will be fun to at least have a go with one and sort of explore one and see the quarters and the massive hangar inside. So cool. Looking forward to seeing the update and looking forward to seeing it in a flyby later on. You see the massive RSI bridge with its struts. I like it. Cool. Okay. I'm not going to hover around the Invictus Hall too much. I don't think there's anything I really want to go and see that much. Let's have a look. Back on the map. Having a look at the Ursa would be interesting, if we can see it. Perseus, the Zeus down there, and the 12A. Ursa Medivac. Let's go and have a quick look around one of those. I imagine that I can actually use one because I still have a subscription, and of course if you have a sub you get to use a vehicle for like 14 days I think it is, so we may have a play with one in a minute, but we'll go and have a look anyway. I'm coming back into the entrance foyer for one of the hangars. And what is on show now is something that many people would have drooled over, and now it's something that's considered, I want to say, I don't want to use the word mediocre, but it kind of is in this patch, is the F8. It's a big threat, but it's a big target, it's pretty slow to move. You know, in this patch, according to all the people who know how to fly things, interceptors are the meta, so my Sabre Raven may actually get some good use out of this patch, because they are the ship to use, small and fast, with decent guns, so... Okie dokie, here's an RSI corner. You can see the Mantis and an Aurora when my frame rate stops being awful. There we go, that took a moment. We've got our Scorpiuses, our Scorpii, plural, and a normal Ursa, and is that the luxury one that I can never remember the name of? I can't remember the name of this one. Yeah, this is the luxury one, the fancy one. Why can't I rent it? I don't know where the screen thing is to rent it. Rent. It's there right in the middle, but it won't let me. Oh, frames. The Lynx, that's what it's called. It's right on the front, look. God, I'm a moron. I haven't actually been in a Lynx yet. It's quite a cool little thing, but again, luxury vehicle, not my kind of thing. If I'm travelling somewhere, then I tend to go on a bike. So, and this is... oh. Oh dear. I should say I'm not really surprised. Well, hey, at least we're seeing it in use, if nothing else. So you can see from the normal Ursa, in fact I can show you, that they've changed it from the what I would call the Range Rover doors, so the door that opens in two sections, and we just have a big door from the back that opens down, basically like an on-ramp, so very much like an ambulance. You can see the medical bed in use with the random dude there. And now we have a gun rack and one that stores your med guns as well. So if I can get mine out, not that one, not that one, that one. So these things, you can now put these in this rack here. Maybe I can get it and take it, we'll see. There we go. So you can get med gun storage. How cool is that? And put that away. And then you have something that makes it look like a quick surgical table. So you've got wash basin, little computer, you've got your med bed here, you've got the seat for the doctor, should I say. You've got the side door there like the rest of the Ursas, and you've got our drivers for our driver and our gunner, and then you've got some components here, if it will let me close the door, because the servers are choking right now. And then you have your terminal. So now when we go on here, of course, you can access the Healy thing, but you can also regenerate. So these vehicles now allow you to respawn. So for better or for worse, it's like swings and roundabouts of medical gameplay. And I also want to make note, so in the last video I picked up those blue canisters when I was running around the Idris. Maybe I'll do it again if we do an Idris tour in this video. But you can see these slots here, and if I try and crouch, maybe it won't let me. I can't quite get an angle. They've got like a little port inside that you can see that thing connects to, like a round port on the edge of the canister. That is for when the medical terminals get like a resource that they have to use. So they won't just heal you. You can't just lay down in them and get magically healed. They need something. They need like a biogel or some kind of former human that was squeezed into you know, that was turned into paste, basically. We'll drag this poor soul outside so people can explore this thing. But yes, they need some kind of resource, and that's what that is. I will try and get some pictures of it again if I did the Idris tour, or I will cut it in here so you can see it. But yeah, these things are going to change when they do more in-depth medical gameplay, and these things can't, again, you know, it may be the case that they need this to enable you to respawn, so you can't just respawn for free. You need these resource packs, these gel boxes, to allow you to respawn. So it won't just be a given thing. Again, you have to have the resources available to do it, which would be fine. You know, when they do bring that in, I can see vehicles like this respawning, because then it has a cost, and you can't just do it to run into a bunker, die, repeat, run into a bunker, die, repeat, over and over and over again. So I can see that being a much more stable way of doing gameplay that revitalizes you and brings you back, rather than just doing it over and over and over again without consequence. But hey, that's the medical Ursa. Let's go and do maybe an Idris tour? I don't know where it is. I have no idea where the fleet is, so I'm going to have to go and find it. Somebody's very eagerly flying their 600i around the Idris. I don't see the Polaris though. It must have already been round and gone, unfortunately. Oh, and now the 600i. The 600i has been classed as a pirate for flying into the Idris. Can he get away? Oh my god, look at the rate of fire on him. Oh, there he goes, soft death. F. F for the 600i. Oh my god, that thing got peeled apart. Don't shunt the capital ships. Okay, security port B on Port Treslet. So you have an Idris docked. There's our giant railgun. Let's see if they've got NPCs inside. Let's see how mahoosive this thing is again, compared to things like the 890 and of course the Polaris, which we just saw. It would appear that the doors are closed, so it doesn't look like we can fly into it this time. However, the lights are on. It does not look like, however, that we have some NPCs around. UE launches Invictus Week as an opportunity not to only congratulate the latest graduating class of starmen and pilots, but also to celebrate this newest group of recruits gathering to set off for training. All over the Empire, sons, daughters, partners, brothers and sisters say goodbye to their loved ones before embarking to MacArthur to start their next journey in life. Adventure of service in the UEE military. During this time, Navy vessels dock around the Empire and let the populace see these brave defenders and awe-inspiring ships up close. Invictus is also a wonderful opportunity for the community to come together with local governments, businesses and law enforcement to talk about planetary security and outreach. So there we go. Medbay that way, mess hall this way. We go down here, this is a, I don't know if I showed this in the last video, but this is a tunnel that goes over the hangar, as you can see. We have a Gladius, oh we have two Gladius and a bunch of NPCs wandering around. Milling about in the hangar there, so it looks like they've purposefully filled it this time so that people can't just yeet their ships into the hangar and cause a giant mess like what there was on the PTU. But we can go and have a look in a minute. Obviously preparing it for Squadron 42. These doors should not be open. Can we close them? Doesn't look like it. No. He's gonna YOLO out into space. So medbay and mess hall. Here is the captain's quarters. We couldn't go in here last time. There was like a sign. So we have some NPCs sticking around. Doing the tumble thing. Not sure if you're an actual NPC. Can we go inside? No. So no, we can't actually go in the captain's quarters. That is still restricted. Here's locker block. Back onto B deck. To make our way around, so now we've come full circle again. So we didn't go down to the mess hall, we will go to the mess hall. So that runs through the whole of the ship, that little shortcut there. Control room. That goes down into the hangar. And then the mess hall. So you can see, similar to the one on the Javelin, but a bit smaller. Military nutrition. All the paste dispensers. Obviously they're going to be a bit more in depth than that. And then we've got crew quarters as well next to the mess hall. Okay, so fair bit of crew, as you can see, what with all the crew that you're going to need, and the engineers and gunners and God knows what else. And then if this man gets out of the way, he's not going to let me get out of the way. NPCs. Risk and reward. As the frontline fighters of naval engagement, pilots take an additional risk in service of the UEE and for the protection of its people. For their service, combat pilots enjoy numerous benefits, including separate sleeping quarters aboard Navy vessels. So this is going to be like quarters for officers, I imagine, yeah? So these are open, so these are like officers' quarters. That's pretty cool. They are linked to the main bunks though, as you can see. That's the mess hall in there, and then you've got like a washroom and showers. Sweet. And then is that the same on the other side? Or is that just... no, that's just a locker room. Okay. Back out onto B deck. Then bridge that way. And captain's quarters that way. So you're going to continue going this way. Pilot ready room we've been to. This was the... I think there's like suits and things around in this area if I remember. Or sim pods, so there's like training things here. And then downstairs into the hangar. We'll go down there in a minute. We shall continue forward. Control room and brig. So the brig we looked at last time. And if we can go in here, can we go in here? We can go in here. So yeah, here's the brig. I was surprised when I came in here last time. Oh, like a full-on UEE Navy person. I was a bit surprised that it had a brig on it, but it makes sense at the end of the day. It is a military vessel. They are going to capture, you know, pirates and God knows what else. Escape pods, if I remember. Yes. Yep. So these are escape pods. Does it do anything? It had a use symbol on it there for a split second. It doesn't look like it. And suits. So there's EVA suits in here if I remember. The rig is a space flight. Trade heavier armour for more powerful endurance. So yeah, this is where like there's EVA suits if they need to go outside. They need to go outside and do things. And then we run around the ring. So briefing room. And I just want to open my map for a second. So as you can tell, we're at the back end of the ship now. Again, the mini-map being very cool, showing us where we are. So you can see you've got things going up there. How cool is that? Shows you the layout. So this is going to feature highly in Squadron 42, I imagine. So a little cinema for them to give mission briefings. We looked at that one last time, so I'm not going to read that one last time. And then we'll run around. So now we are moving forwards. Components, cool to see. More EVA pods, more escape pods, back down to the brig again. Blast doors, I wonder if that's actually... oh, component base. Okay, so we can actually go in here. It figures that the Idris is going to release with some kind of gold standard, let's face it. This is the lift to the bridge, that's right, so we won't use this. That goes straight up to the bridge. Cargo. Oh, so it actually has a dedicated cargo deck. I didn't know, but then again, being this kind of vessel, it would make sense. What does this one say? Wartime origins. After beginning development in the First Tebaran War, the first Idris frigate was commissioned in 2551 in a ceremony at an Aegis factory in the Idris system, named in honour of the military's recent victory over the Tebaran forces at Idris 4. The ship would go on to have a long and storied history protecting the Empire. I was actually reading up on it the other day, like the history of the Idris. And now I can't read this one because there's 3 people stood around it. Criminal contraband. In addition to this standard version of the Idris frigate, the UE also employs a peacekeeper variant designed for patrol services that strips the standard vessel's ship-to-ship guns and signal and spinal mount in favour of superior speed and additional cargo capacity for confiscated contraband. So yeah, that's the Idris P. So this isn't Idris M for military. And the P is for Peacekeeper, and that does not have the gigantic railgun on the front. One would assume these lifts go down to the hangar, I guess. Don't know if we can use them or not. Main deck, hangar. Doesn't look like we can use them. And then this goes back out onto the B deck. Yes. Okie dokie. Okay. Oh, it did work. It was just being very, very slow. There we go. I'm not going to yeet down there, but you can see going down to the hangar with the gladiuses. The gladii, plural. And then we've got another one at this end as well. So see these being fun to use when we get actual like physicalized cargo and stuff in proper. Running back along the main area. Pilot ready room, bridge and armory. So we will go up to the bridge now because we've been around the vessel. There's the brig again. Oh no, this side's going to be the armory, isn't it? The other side was the brig. So yeah, that's right. This is going to be the armory. If we wait for the NPCs to step out of the way.
I'm freaking out right now.
Oh cool, some views outside. And of course this is where all your suits of armour are going to be stored. And there's some more escape pods this side. So yeah, that makes sense. Brig on one side, armour on the other. Lots of gun racks. And a shooting range. That is cool. Again, something else I did not know this ship had on it. So it has a shooting range as well. Which would make sense, you know, they're meant to be training. There's the quartermaster's area. Does this actually power on? No, sometimes you can turn these on. You can have a quartermaster's room. And another terminal. Firearms training. The master at arms of a vessel is responsible for managing crewmates' access to the ship's weapons and ammunition stores. They also oversee the shooting range, where crew members can receive additional firearm training and earn certifications, to use specialised equipment, i.e. bigger guns, or grenades, or something along those lines. It is quite fun having all the NPCs aboard, I must say, even if they do get in the way from time to time. That's back to the escape pods. I don't want to go this way, I want to go this way. All of them running around with the t-shirts on and stuff. It does make me chuckle. And here we are on the bridge level. Now this time I can go straight into one of these which I saw last time. These are up into the turrets. It looks like someone's in this one right now. And then you've got these pylons that go outside here. So they look forward and backward. This is looking forward. And then if we go to the one out here, this one will look backward. Both of these have turrets on. So yeah, you can see turret. And it looks like someone's in that one as well, unfortunately. So people are sat in these. Can't use those. Either that or they've disabled them for this, which would make sense. And then we go up this big pylon here, which leads us to the bridge, as we did in the last video. Got some computers. And here is our bridge. We've got all these support crews here. That's the lift that goes down. There's something I do need to check actually, which I'll have a look in a moment. Bridge deck. Captain and officers in command of the vessel lead from the bridge, the nerve centre of the ship, where every electrical, data and automation system comes together. In case of duress, a skeleton crew of 8 people can operate the ship's essential functions, though not as efficiently as a full complement of crew would manage. So 8 people minimum, bare minimum, you need to run this thing. That's good to know. A random person in the captain's chair. These are all UEE Navy NPCs, you can tell. And they put them so that literally we can't go and sit down in them and mess about with the doors and screw it over, basically, like what we were doing in the PTU. So a much more tame version this time. So there we go, quick look at the bridge. We can't go and play as much as we did in the PTU, but that's still very, very cool. Actually, nip back up for a second. We couldn't really run away without a kind of sweeping view, could we? And now that it's actually working properly with a good proper docking, rather than what it did on the PTU when it was at Seraphim Station, it didn't work. I hope they fix that, otherwise that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Right then, back down this pylon, because there is something I want to check. No, I couldn't find it, but behind the bridge on the lower deck there's a door, like a giant door, and I wonder if it's for here. I'm not sure. This is like the place it should be. But there's a giant door on the back of the bridge area, and I can't seem to find a way to access it. I have no idea what it's for. But never mind. This is it. I found it. It's behind the elevator. So it's like, I don't know, an emergency door, upper deck port. As you can see, it's behind the elevator that goes up to the bridge. Interesting. Is it like a docking port for other ships? It's hard to tell. I assume that's what it must be. It says port, so it makes sense that you can have something dock on directly to the back of the bridge, maybe for like senior officers, something along those lines. Anyway, that answers that. Let's go down to the hangar.
Really interesting.
Here we go. So going down from the pilot ready room. As we discovered last time, and it took me ages to find, here's a gym. We usually have our punching bags and things in here now. We've got treadmill. We've got some kind of like running treadmills. I don't actually know what these are. Something like a bench. And then things for weights. And then we look down here. You see our two Gladii parked, ready to go.
Is that it?
I'm going to leave you outside over Microtech. And then we can come up into the hangar itself. And the doors are obviously closed at the minute. They've kept them closed so that pilots just can't leave a gigantic debris field all over this place. As you can see, meant to fit two Gladiuses. Gladii, two Gladii. These things, of course, now at their gold standard as well. It's going to be very fun playing through Squadron 42, messing about with these, and in the Javelin. And then if we go to the other side, we have another area. So it's Hangar 1. And then you've got a lift down to a Argo Cargo down there. I'm not going to try and get down there with those NPCs in the way. So for transfer of passengers, prisoners, whatever. And that docks directly into the bottom of the ship. And then on this side you have the control room. So this is like your ATC tower. So we should maybe be able to read if this little Le Man comes out of the way. To be certified to operate the stations within the control room, members of the Navy must pass a rigorous training and certification program. It requires personnel to have an exhaustive understanding of numerous equipment configurations, weather and spatial anomalies, and military procedures. So you can't be an idiot if you're going to operate the ATC. Oh, there's a Vandal hovering around in a prisoner suit. Someone's escaped from the brig.
That is underwhelming.
Where did that man go? Stop him. Where's he gone? There he goes. Not quite as good as T-posing. He's gone. He's going to steal a Gladius and run away. And there we go. What a way to finish off the Idris tour. Quick, go and stop him. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you think I deserve it, please give the video a like and a sub if you fancy sticking around. If you want to try Star Citizen, you can use my referral code on screen when registering. That gives us both in-game credits to help us both out as well. See you in the next one.